Hello, welcome back to the Medan campaign. Today we have, as a guest, watching these videos with me is Walt Whitman.
Hello, I'm Walt Whitman.
Hello, Walt. Now, your magnum opus would be Leaves of Grass. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I've spent many years of my life working on that.
And it's one of the greatest books of poetry ever written.
Why, thank you.
I was flipping through it in preparation for our meeting today, and I noticed that I had marked "We Two Boys Together Clinging." And I thought, I marked the gay one. How immature could I have been? But I read it, and it was actually a very good poem. Would you mind reading it for us?
Why, certainly. We two boys together clinging.
You know what? How about I read it for you?
Why?
Well, I don't think it would be that pleasant to hear you.
Why?
Well, your voice is...
What?
Could I read it? It's my show.
Okay.
We two boys together clinging. We two boys together clinging, one the other never leaving. Up and down the roads going, north and south excursions making. Power enjoying, elbows stretching, fingers clutching. Armed and fearless, eating, drinking, sleeping, loving, no law less than ourselves owning. Sailing, soldiering, thieving, threatening. Misers, menials, priests alarming, air breathing, water drinking. On the turf or sea beach dancing, cities wrenching, ease scorning, statues mocking, feebleness chasing, fulfilling our foray. It's very good, Walt. You're one of the greatest poets who ever lived.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of homosexuality, you yourself are, of course, a homosexual.
No, I'm not.
But you have had intimate relations with men.
Of course I have. We're all intimate with the people we know, at one occasion or another.
Yes, but you've had some intimate sexual encounters with men.
Well, I don't discuss my sexual life. I will say that I have had 6 kids, and that's as far as I will go into it.
Oh, I think someone else just built a wonder here, and that will put us at about 3-2. So I think I'm going to need to make another pretty quick, one of which would be the Great Lighthouse.
Alexandria, Library of Wisdom, torn and run asunder by wars, great conquests.
Wow, you've really lost your edge there, Walt.
Well, don't blame me.
Enough said. So you've had kids, so that would make you... So you've been intimate with women in the same way you've been intimate with men?
Well, one cannot be intimate with a man in the same way one is intimate with a woman.
Alright, that's true. I think I'll just drop it. And if you were paying attention, we built another wonder, the statue of Zeus. There we go. I pulled up the screen here. It's 2-4. So there's only one wonder left. And I've got to work on getting it. And I think it's a coastal one. So I have to build it in that coastal city I built just to build the wonder for.
That was excellent diction there.
Shut up. So I was reading in one of the most interesting parts of Leaves of Grass is drum taps, written during and about the Civil War.
Yes, it was a very trying time for our nation.
Yes, but it had a very different quality. Would you mind going into that?
Well, yes, I mean, poetry is affected by culture, because culture affects the writer, and the writer affects his poetry. And the culture of a society changes when it's at war. in recent times, we have rap music, and we can look to the differences in rap music pre and post Iraq War and during the Iraq War. The music pre and post war are very similar to one another, while the music during the war tends to stand out.
In what way? Excuse me, I had a bit of a burp there.
That's okay, it happens to everyone.
I think I'm still going a bit. So in what way, Walt?
Well, the wartime music tends to be a bit more rhythmic, whereas the peacetime music tends to be a bit more lyrical.
Ah, yes, this seems true. We could point to the difference between, say, Coolio and Drake with someone like Eminem, who was more popular during the war.
Yes, the two former were very lyrical, and the latter is fairly rhythmic in his music.
Very good. Now, many people have said that your works are obscene.
In what way?
Well, they've said that there is some content which can be offensive to some people.
Well, I would argue that all content is offensive to someone.
Yes, that's true.
And, I believe it is the duty of an American to be offended. That is part of living in a free society. If you've not been offended recently, you should seek it out and attempt to be offended.
What an interesting point you make. Now,
So where are you in this game?
well, I think I'm about to... I don't know where I am on tech. Shipbuilding is the next tech. It's 14 turns away. I believe that is... The tech after that has the Great Lighthouse, which is the wonder that has to be built. The city I'm going to build it in, I'm bringing up the workers to build the mines and stuff to increase production. I'm focusing entirely on that one city because that's the city that's going to win or lose the game. So what would you say is your favorite poem that you've written?
Oh, probably Song of Myself. It has what is probably the most famous line that I've ever written, which is, I contain multitudes.
Yes, it does.
Although people tend to forget that it's actually in parentheses, that statement. And combined with a bit before it, which is, do I contradict myself? Fine, I contradict myself. I contain multitudes.
Huh. Very good. Now, one of your most famous poems is "O Captain, My Captain."
Yes, it was certainly the most famous during my life.
And it is the most famous now. Probably because of the movie Dead Poet Society.
Yes, an excellent movie.
Well, I have to say I didn't like it very much. Would you mind if I went off for a bit and explained why?
How can I possibly stop you?
You can't. The reason I did not like Dead Poet Society is it sort of stepped on its own point. Spoiler alert, by the way. I'm going to be revealing the ending. And so, skip ahead a couple minutes if you don't want to hear the ending of the movie. Or there's a lot I'm leaving out. Near the beginning, he's trying to encourage all the kids not to be conformists and not to walk away from this school, which has in the past been designed from certain points of view to make everyone the same, and instead wants them to all think for themselves and have individuality. And he encourages them to stand on their desk and shout, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Or does he do it? and just him. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but it doesn't matter to the point I'm making. He stands up and says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." And then at the end of the movie, the kid who was really under his father's thumb and was the least likely to express his individuality stands up on his desk and says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." But that's not really him being an individual. He's just copied what Robin Williams did at the beginning. Hittites and Phoenicia have signed a mutual protection pact. That is not going to affect me. I don't think I may lose those two cities. But it doesn't really matter. So anyway, when he says that, he's not really being an individual. He's just copying what the professor said. He's just, instead of following his father blindly, he's following Robin Williams. I wish I could remember what character he played. Blindly.
Well, I think that you're missing the point of the movie.
Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But that's just what I walked out of it with, and why I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
Well, I only have one topic left to talk to you about, and we have a little while. I think I maybe didn't come up with enough for this segment, but that is slavery and racism. Could you reiterate for us your favorite quote, your famous statement on slavery?
Well, yes, I famously said, abolish or be abolished.
That is quite pithy and poignant and very poetic. You are the consummate poet. And alright, so that's pretty much all I have to ask you.
There's nothing more you want to talk about?
Well, we're stuck here for 7 more minutes because I've pre-recorded this and I have to go with what it says, otherwise I have to go through all that editing again, and I don't want to do that.
Yes, these newfangled machines are quite complicated.
Yeah, aren't they? So, let's just talk about what's happening here with the Medians. Do you know anything about the Medians?
They're in the Bible.
Yes, that's true. The city's starving. I have to balance food with production in that city, and that's a very difficult balance to make. The Phoenicians, they're the best at getting those sea-based techs. There it is, 40 turns. 40 turns I have to go before I can get the navigation. So I had to, in that city I had to balance food and production and get so that I can have both enough shields and enough people to work the shields. Shields are like hammers in the modern Civ. I've never played, apparently it obviously doesn't make any much sense for shield to be production.
No, it doesn't.
But apparently in Civ 1, which I haven't played, it made a bit more sense, and that's where it came from.
Oh.
40 turns is a long time in this game. I don't know how many turns are left. And a lot of the cities are in civil disorder, but I think I'm just gonna let them be in civil disorder. And there's a truck in the background. I think that's really causing a lot of... Actually, I think it's a bus. It's causing a lot of noise.
Hey, it is what it is.
One of your boyfriends was a bus driver, wasn't he?
Yes, I was very intimate with a bus driver.
They didn't really have buses in the 1800s.
Well, they had transit wagons that brought people. We called them buses. They were not steam powered, but they were buses. They brought people from one place to another.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, I believe Pascal had something to do with a bus in France. That's really all I know. I don't remember much else about him. I don't remember where I read that.
Actually, I'm the one who read that.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember where I read it. And, but Pascal did something with a bus. I think it failed. He tried to get a bus to work, and it failed. Orders being restored. Did I get the... Oh, look at that. You have a mandatory retirement year in 20 turns. And the tech comes up in 35 turns.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I think I'm able to bring it around. I think I convert all the cities to wealth, because wealth goes to gold, and I think I'm able to get it in time.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. In this game, there's the gold slider, which, there it is. I'm showing you right now, where you could put a certain amount of your gold to science. See, 18 turns. That gives me 2 turns. What you can do in Civ is pre-build. You can start working on something. I think I'm doing it here, building a palace. That way, and then once I get the tech, I could switch over to the Great Lighthouse. And all the hammers that I've accumulated for the palace will go to the Great Lighthouse.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's not the way things really work.
Well, you can't have something ultra realistic, because that really wouldn't work as a game. And you could say it works. I mean, there are lots. I can't name one, but I'm certain there are lots of history projects throughout history that intended to be something else and became what we know them as today. And who knows, maybe when they started building the Great Lighthouse, they intended for it to be a palace, but then switched it to a lighthouse. I guess the Great Lighthouse probably not, because they would have built it right on the coast. But, maybe they did. 14, 11. It's really going up, the speed at which this tech will be researched. I think I've switched every single city to wealth. It's really coming down to the wire here. Yeah,
Well, you have anything else you want to say?
nope. I've run out of questions for you. Next time, for my next guest, I'll probably prepare a little better.
Well, good, because I frankly been a little bit bored.
Yeah. I can work those. It's interesting that the hills give more than the mountains. I would have thought it was the other way around. And I'm going to cut down some of those forests. Try and build the Great Lighthouse. I'm still building a courthouse and a harbor, but that does go to gold. So that we can get navigation. I mean, of course, it doesn't matter, since the shields are going to, as long as I get navigation in less than 17 turns, I should be able to get the palace, turn the palace into the lighthouse. So 17 turns. We're almost done. Thank you for coming, Walt.
No problem.
I don't think you'll be back.
I understand.
Oh, and that is it for this episode of Civilization 3 Conquest. I will see you later.